My name is Jared, and I'm about to take the plunge. I'm about to get married.
My name is Meghann Odom, and I am marrying Jared Luden.
My first impression of Meghann was she is incredibly funny. I get her jokes, she gets mine. Even if they're terrible, we both get each other's jokes. That's what really attracted me to her at first, was just the way that we could just laugh about absolutely nothing. We're perfect for each other.
My first impression, he's really funny. He's calm. He kind of lights up my life. Keeps me calm. He understands me.
Hi, Meghann, my wife, my fiance. You are on your way here. I love you, and I can't wait to marry you.
Hi, baby. I love you. I can't wait to see you. Let's do it.
I can't believe the day is finally here. Who knew that on that New Year's Eve when I was babysitting, I would fall madly in love with the love of my life on Facebook Messenger. From the first time we met, I knew you were going to be someone special to me. Our conversations never felt forced or awkward. The first time I met you, I felt comfortable enough to be myself and spent hours laughing with you. You already know I'm a ball of nerves, but there's one thing I know for certain. I cannot wait to marry you. I love the calmness you bring me. I cannot wait to see you, and I know you will look so handsome because I'm the one who chose the suit. She's right about that. I know we always argue about who is the luckiest one in this relationship, but it is an argument I love having with you. I truly am the luckiest person in this world to have someone who is so trustworthy, respectful, tender-hearted, my voice of reason, and my rock. I have it written in my love letter to you, therefore I win. There is no one who can make me laugh as hard as you, whether it's over an inside joke or you taking me from the no samples barrel of licorice at Sprouts. You complete me in so many ways. Your smile makes me smile. You're patient with me and understanding of my needs. I said I love you countless times over the past 2,071 days that we began our Facebook official romance, and I promise to continue doing so. I promise to take care of you the way you need to be cared for. I promise to continue kissing you and holding your hand. I vow to treat our relationship as a never-ending journey, no matter the storms or the sunshine that lie ahead. I promise to share my dreams with you and create a home with you full of laughter and compassion. I promise to try my hardest to tickle your back as we lay in bed talking, even when I just want to go to bed. I promise try not to get too cranky when I'm hungry, hot, or too tired. And let's be honest, you love everything about me, so I'm not too... Oh God, the suspense is killing me. I'm not too worried about that last promise. And I'm not even going to get started on promising anything about my hair. You are my best friend. You are the provider of our household, and I respect and appreciate you more than you will ever know. Even if Mala prefers to kiss you more than me, I love watching the two of you together, and I know you'll make an amazing father to our future non-furry children. Non-furry, of course. You are the man of my dreams, and most importantly, you are my everything. Everything in me recognizes you as my home. You inspire me and strengthen me. I love the person I am because of you. The last 5.5 years have been the best of my life, and that's all because of your presence. There are times that I just sit and I'm overwhelmed by the constant love and affection you pour out on me. I cannot wait to turn that page and start the newest chapter in our book. Our future is bright, and I cannot wait to start a family with you and go on so many more adventures together while growing old alongside you. I love you with all my heart. Your future wife, the almost Meghann Luden. P.S. Remember to smile with your eyes open for every picture. I love you and cannot wait to see you in just a few hours. Eyes are open. All right, we've got a Luden. I promise to never stop leaving love notes around the house, but here's one you can keep with you forever. And I know I love you with all my heart. Your wife, Mrs. Luden.
Okay, so Miss Ludes. Well, today has finally come. It wasn't necessarily the 5-year engagement we thought it would be, but only a mere 702 days. I think back to the afternoon 2,142 days ago, when we first met and you walked into the restaurant with your bright pink phone case in hand, and my first thought was, thank God she uses an iPhone. Little did I know that 5 years, 10 months, and 11 days later we would be here. But here we are, 2 or 3 iPhones later, about to create our very own family plan. After today, a countdown turns into a count up. As husband and wife, growing closer and more in love today after today. There's absolutely only one or two other women I would want to spend the rest of my life with, but you made the cut by miles. I choose you. I will always choose you. From that day, you circled your dream engagement ring with a big red Sharpie in the K Jewelers magazine and left it open in my studio apartment for months to an end for me to see every day. I knew I would eventually get you the rock you deserved because I do not deserve you. You know I don't use the word blessed lightly, but I can't think of a better word to describe how blessed I am that you have chosen me as your life partner. The word lucky doesn't begin to describe how I feel. While you read this, I am eagerly waiting to finally see my bride in the elusive wedding dress you have chosen. I hope you are not hangry. I am. If you have not eaten yet today, please put this letter down and grab a bowl of some cereal, which I have included. Sorry, I couldn't find a way to get milk to you. Okay, now that you've eaten, I think I can say that the feeling in our stomachs right now isn't nervousness, but actually anxiousness to finally enter this next stage of our lives together. This isn't new for us. We get to go home as the family we have been for a few years now, but with a legally binding document and our 5-pound min pin chihuahua, but mostly chihuahua. I don't know why you have chosen me, but you have taught me that asking too many questions gets me into trouble. I love that you can put up with my loud chewing, my fascination with car videos, and my potty mouth, but yours is worse. I love your indecisiveness when it comes to choosing what to eat, fulfilling your sweet tooth, and the way you just understand me, and my jokes, good or bad. You accept me for who I am and not who I strive to be. You give me the inspiration to be a better person, a more successful person, and a more loving person. You comfort me when I need it, and I am even more comforted knowing that as the mother of our children, you will be the best damn mom, and you will be there to teach me how to be the best damn father I can be. Life is a road trip full of all of the pit stops at rest stops, not gas stations, and I will always get you to where you need to be. We will continue on this road trip of life together, through the ups and downs together, and we will tackle the road of life of a team together. And together we will be known from this point forward as husband and wife together. I'll see you soon, my beautiful bride. Love you always and forever, Luz.
Perfect moment for the two of you to commit your lives to each other. But before we begin, I really want the two of you to have an opportunity to see what I get to look at. So just turn around and take a look at those faces. Meghann and Jared, these are some of the most important people in your lives. They're your family, they're friends. Some of these people you've grown up with or have gone to school with or work with. I wouldn't be surprised if there is someone in this group that one of you have fallen on the floor laughing so hard at something so silly and you couldn't remember what it was about. Or maybe there's another that you've held in each other's arms as you've gone through a difficult time together. And this is exactly what family and friends are all about. And without that inflow of their love and support coming into your home, your chuppah, it really does make the challenge of two becoming one that much more difficult. So please understand as you take one more look at these wonderful people that This is your support system. And you're going to be calling on someone of these throughout your lives for one reason or another, besides asking for money. So now you may turn and face each other. We also want to acknowledge those who wish to have been here but could not make it. And Megan's grandma Sharon could not be here today. And we have people here from a lot of different places. Michigan? Who's here from Michigan? Yeah. This is not a sporting event. Arizona? I guess it is. Nevada. Washington, Canada, and even Israel. So the reason why I mention this is not only to acknowledge your family and friends who made it all this way, but there's a little story I like to kind of convey, that there was a moment, I don't know how many weeks ago, that these people opened up their mailbox and pulled out a letter, an invitation for them to be here today. And in that exact moment, they went through a shift. They began to book their airfares, their hotels, babysitters perhaps, any number of things so that they could make their way here to share this moment with you. And what it illustrates to me is how everything is so interconnected, and that reaching not only just throughout the United States, but even Israel, there is a connection that each of you have to these wonderful people. And we also want to honor those who have gone before you, your ancestors. And when I get to this place in the ceremony, I always have this image in my mind of a tree. And in Judaism, we have a symbol called the Tree of Life, and it's rich with wisdom and learnings that we can glean from throughout our lives. But one thing that this Tree of Life shares with every other tree on the planet is that it is comprised of three components. The trunk of the tree, that's where the energy moves. Then there's this beautiful array of branches that yields the leaves, the flowers, and the fruits of that tree. But unseen by all, and without which that tree would not be standing, is the root system. And I look at this as a metaphor of linear time, past, present, and future. And today, this moment, the breath that you're taking right now, the two of you are symbolic of the trunk of a tree. And in the weeks, the months, and the years ahead, not only the two of you, but your family and friends will all begin noticing the sprouting of the leaves, the flowers, and the fruits of your relationship together. But unseen by all, and without which neither one of you would be standing here, are your ancestors. For thousands of years ago, Jared, your family, they're coming from Greece, Czechoslovakia, and Eastern Europe, and Meghann, Ireland, Scotland, Germany, and Italy. And back then they were all busy about their own lives, making their own plans, building their families, moving from city to city, village to village. But eventually, both families made their way to the United States, and after more repositioning, made it possible geographically for the two of you to meet. Pretty cool, huh? So we want to honor Jared's grandfather Samuel and Aunt Rita, Megan's grandparents Barbara, Lupe, and Uncle Harry. And it is at this time I'd like to invite Aunt Tracy to come up. And share with us a reading.
Jared, Meghann, today as you take hold of each other's hands, know that these are the hands of your best friend, young, strong, and full of love for one another. Know that these are the hands that will work alongside yours to build your lives together, through thick and thin. These are the hands that will lend comfort, strength, and deliver reassurance that you do not walk alone. Know that these are the hands that will gently hold your children, wipe away tears of sorrow and tears of happiness. When these strong hands eventually grow old with age as you walk through life together, know that these are the hands that built the foundation of your family. They are the same hands holding one another in love, in sorrow, in joy, and even in disappointment, lending comfort and acceptance as you stand today and tomorrow together in matrimony from now until the end. Our wish, everybody here, our wish is for you two to trust, love, communicate, have honesty, respect, happiness, and compassion. May you express these qualities freely and be blessed to receive them throughout your lives. And we love you.
Thank you. Now, Jared and Meghann, could you come around the back of the table, please? My goodness. And this is a beautiful tradition. It's called the Unity Sand, and it was very fortuitous of you to choose this tradition over the Unity Candle. The meaning is the same regardless, because just as I was sharing about your ancestors, our families really reach back thousands of years, and we are, as the Bible expresses, like the sand of the sea. And the entire moment we're sharing together is all about the two of you becoming one and celebrating what makes the two of you one and not separate. And so I'm going to ask the two of you to begin pouring your different colored sands, showing the blending of both your lives together. And hopefully you will put this on your mantle or a place prominent in your home. Every time you look at it, you'll see how everything blended together uniquely. Nothing else like it in the world, just like the two of you. And everybody said amen. Okay, come on back. The Jewish wedding ceremony has very similar parts to it, except for what I'm going to be explaining right now, and it's all central to this structure that you're standing under, which we call a chuppah. And the chuppah represents the home that you're establishing as a couple. And before you can build a home or put a superstructure for a place to live where it's going to be safe, it's imperative that you lay a foundation that in the midst of the storms of life and the challenges that come your way, that this foundation is going to keep your home strong. And so in Judaism, there is a blessing that really depicts this. It's a blessing that is prayed at the beginning of a new season in one's life. So when two people get married, this is an appropriate time for it. First day of Hanukkah, the first day of Passover. If you were to move into a new home together, you'd want to bless that home. And certainly if children come into your lives, you want to cover them with this blessing. I have a friend that even he, wanted a blessing for his Lexus when he bought it. And this is the blessing. Now, the reason why I call this the foundation is because what this blessing is all about: gratitude. Gratitude must be the foundation of your relationship, because gratitude is like turning a light on into a dark room. It dispels all negativity. If you think about all of the challenges you've had in your lives and conflicts that perhaps you've had together, and perhaps maybe 5.5 years you've got to had one, you will notice that every single time that there was a resolution to that problem, it was surrounded by gratitude. I just found this the other day and I thought it was so fitting. I wanted to read it to you. It's just a partial, but It says, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. It is my hope that if nothing else is understood throughout this ceremony, that you would remember that every morning when you wake up, you look into each other's eyes and speak a sentence that expresses your gratitude for whatever, whether it's for each other, the weather, the appointment that you have today, whatever it is, find something to take that first step in each day, a step towards gratitude. Now, once this foundation is laid, we put this superstructure over it called the chuppah. The chuppah is nothing more than an outward expression of an inward attitude representing your home. The symbolism of the chuppah is the covering. The top represents God's covering over your home. What that means practically is that your home is to be filled with laughter and love and forgiveness and joy and children and family and forgiveness and holidays and creativity. And have I mentioned forgiveness? Yeah, lots of that. The poles of the chuppah are exactly what they are, support, which is a direct reference to these people right here. And the chuppah is open on all sides, suggesting the openness that you share with each other and everyone who enters your home. And it is under the chuppah now, this is the third tradition that is unique in Judaism, is a blessing over the fruit of the vine. We've just covered this tablecloth with the fruit of the vine. But we do this because in the Torah, in the Bible, wine, or this grape juice, is a reference to joy. And so it is fitting after the foundation is laid and the superstructure is built that we invite joy to fill your home. And we use what is called a Kiddush cup. A Kiddush cup is unique in that it is sanctified. It means that it's separated for all other purposes than this, pouring wine or grape juice in it, praying this prayer. And I do believe that every time this tradition is honored, a little bit of the energy from each of those moments are permanently infused into this cup and remains. So the next time you use it, it may be your anniversary, the birth of a child, or any number of reasons, holidays, families over. It's conceivable in 40 or 50 years from today, you could be sitting across with each other with this cup reflecting on all those moments you've shared together with it. Now, tell me about this cup. Is this brand new? And this was a gift from, help me here.
Raina and Fred.
Oh, a gift from Raina and Fred. And recently, Fred passed away. And when they chose this cup, which incidentally is quite beautiful, I'm sure that they chose this cup with the intention that this is going to be going into your home, that you would be using this always. And as I said, this is a container of energy, but that energy began the moment they selected this cup and purchased it for you. And I cannot conceive that every time that you use this, that you would not be able to think of them. And so honoring them with this cup is quite a holy and sacred thing. And this is the very first time that the two of you are sharing a cup of the fruit of the vine as a husband and wife, and we get to watch. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. We give thanks to the source of all life, that which has given us the fruit of the vine, that we may share joy with one another. Amen. So now as you're holding hands, Jared, Meghann, I have a very important question I have to ask each one of you. Come on, move back over here in the center. I was feeling a little lopsided. Jared, do you stand here of your own free will without coercion?
Yes.
You were shaking your head. No, I was getting nervous. And Jared, is it your heart's desire to be a loving husband to Meghann, to be a support to her and a provider, not just materially, but emotionally and spiritually?
Absolutely.
And Jared, we can all see how much you love Meghann, and as a show of your eternal love for her, will you promise throughout the years to provide a continuous flow of flip-flops?
Yes.
Have you gotten any rainbows yet? No. I got my first pair this year. Meghann, do you stand here of your own free will?
Yes.
Is it your heart's desire to be a loving wife to Jared?
Yes.
And Meghann, knowing that Jared is close to the perfect companion for you, will you promise to not expect him to ever make the bed?
Yes. Yes.
So you have put down on a page your promises to each other.
Meghann, I'm looking at how absolutely beautiful you are, and I can't believe I get to call you my wife. I vow to you that I will be your forever big spoon. I will always cuddle you until you fall asleep before I go to sleep. I will be that open ear for you to vent about your day. I only ask that you vent to me in my good ear because we all know that this one really doesn't work that well. And I'd like the record to show I didn't promise both ears, just so everyone's aware. I promise to always find ways to make you laugh. I'm amazed that you want to marry me and you accept me for all my weirdness. I'm so thankful to have found someone that constantly makes me laugh. Our humor is our strongest bond, and I promise to never let that go. I vow to be your safe place. I'll be your protector and your own personal chef. You will be forever mine until suspicious death do we part.
Jared, who knew that me paying for the first date would lead to you paying for the rest of your life? I can't tell you how lucky I am to have such a kind, loving, and generous man who wants nothing more in the world than to make me happy. I know that we are meant to be together forever in this lifetime, as well as our last and present ones. You are my one true love, and I vow to love you for all of my days. I promise to defend and stand beside you every step of the way. I promise to love your family as much as my own, because let's be honest, I'm their favorite. I promise to listen to your advice and occasionally take it. I promise to protect our relationship, to do everything in my power to keep it sacred and do whatever it takes to keep it live. I promise to show you a love that is the envy of our peers. I promise to inspire you and support you. I promise to fill our home with love, respect, and friendship and continue to be your best friend and lover of the rest of our lives. I can't wait to share my future with you, raise a family with you, and spend the rest of my days and nights knowing I'm going to bed as Jared Luden's wife.
Okay, Jared, may I have your left hand palm up? I'm going to place your rings there. Meghann, your left hand palm down. Hold them very tight. I want you to feel the pressure. Actually, I don't want you to drop them.
Please.
Now, in just a moment, you will be placing these rings on each other's fingers, but before you do that, I want to give you both an opportunity. Pardon me?
To run.
Not to run. That ship sailed.
Sorry, Uncle Brian.
Is this Uncle Brian? No. No. Where? Wave your hand.
Up in the air.
Okay. No more advice. No more advice. But before you place these rings, I want to give you an opportunity to infuse them with something very sacred and special, and that is something that is coming right now. I'd like you to close your eyes. And I would like you to allow a word or words to come to your mind that express your feelings for each other right now. And when those words have come to your mind, send them into these rings together, both rings. And when you have done that, open your eyes, lean over, and whisper those words to each other. And now take the rings and place them on each other's ring finger, the left hand. And now what I'd like you to do is take your left hand, the hand that has the ring on it, and place it on your beloved's heart. Later. Your right hand goes over your beloved's, just like that. And now as you hold each other's hearts in your hand, looking into each other's eyes, together in unison, repeat after me. As I give you my hand to hold.
As I give you my hand to hold.
I give you my heart to keep.
I give you my heart to keep.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I
I promise
my loving loyalty.
my loving loyalty.
And now as you look into each other's eyes, holding each other's hearts in your hands, feeling the power of the words that have just been spoken, it is at this moment that you have become husband and wife, and you may seal these words with a kiss. And now if you would turn and face your guests again, and I'm going to take, this is your bar mitzvah tallis. No, keep that show. Meghann, come in close. What this is called is the benediction. This is where we send them into their future together as a husband and wife. And I wrap them in the tallis. The tallis is a very similar to the chuppah in that it is an outward expression of an inward attitude, suggesting that which binds the two of them together, which is soul. Now, the teaching of the tallis is that these strings here, it's called tzitzit, they represent the law. But there is no teaching about the fabric itself. So I made that up. This is a garment made up of thousands of threads, but it is one garment, suggesting the unity of all things throughout the universe. And then we have the moms there holding on to each one of them. The laying on of hands is an expression of an impartation of a blessing. Our hands are transmitters and receivers of energy too. We all have experienced that. And so as I pray this benediction, I'm going to invite you folks out there to reach out one of your hands and send your best wishes and prayers into their home, their chuppah. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'ir Adonai panav elev v'hunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elev v'yasim l'cha shalom. May God bless you and keep you, and may God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you, and may God's countenance turn towards you and grant you peace. And Meghann and Jared, as the two of you leave this moment in time and enter into every moment after, may every step that you take together be filled with love and laughter and joy. And may those moments of shared being be felt within your home, your family, and the community in which you live. And ladies and gentlemen, if these words resonated in your heart, indicate by saying Amen. Amen. Thank you, mothers. You may be seated. And let's give this back to Jared. There's just one last tradition, and that's the breaking of the glass. Now, Jared, inside this bag is a wine glass, not a light bulb. I got here and there was this thing, and there were 2 light bulbs in there. I don't know why 2.
In case one broke.
In one case, one didn't break. And I understand that you brought these because you figured I'd forget it.
Ours went out and we went LED, so...
Oh. So feel how hefty this is. I like wine glasses because they take more effort than a light bulb, just like marriage. Am I right? And when you break this glass, because I mentioned wine is a symbol of joy, it is my prayer that every shard of glass, that it represents a year of joy in each of your lives together. And then as you put your foot down on this glass, I need you to consider for just a moment, as the Spirit just rushes by us, it just might be the last time you put your foot down. Are you ready?
I am.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your opportunity to release that feeling inside called joy. When the glass is broken, I'm going to invite you to shout at the top of your lungs the words Mazel Tov, which means congratulations and good luck. You still ready?
I'm ready.
Whenever you are, you go ahead. Mazel Tov! Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce to you husband and wife, Meghann and Jared Luden.
It's your constant love that gives me strength. Under the starlight, we'll find our way, I know. This is the start of something beautiful. With you by my side, there's no place that we can't go. This is the start of something beautiful. When the wind moves along your face, it captures everything I long to say. So don't look back, love, and don't you wait. Just say you'll run with me, come what may.
But again, for those of you who don't know me, there's a gift table somewhere. Leave your gift, and then you can exit. I'd like to welcome all distinguished guests of no particular distinction, relatives, young and old, friends, freeloaders, and anyone else who may have snuck through security. You're all about to witness a unique event in history. The very first and quite possibly the very last time that I get to speak on behalf of both of us. So, before I begin, over the course of the evening, there's going to be a lot of toasts, so please make sure that your glasses are fully charged. First off, I'd like to thank everyone who works here at the venue for putting together money to pay for tonight's festivities. We really thank you. Oh, it's weird. They all left. It sucks for us. It's amazing to see so many of our family and friends here today to help us celebrate the happiest day of our lives. I know that some of you have traveled a long way to be here, and that really means a lot to us. It really wouldn't be the same without everyone here. It would have been a little cheaper, but that's okay. I want to express my gratitude and feelings about how welcoming Meghann's family has been, and her extended family. Now, I was also promised when we first started dating that if I break her heart, I'll have a broken ligament. So, yeah, it's true. I got it. I got the point. But I think that goes a lot to show the length at which you all look after each other, whether you're related by blood or not. As most of you know, Meghann was present during the terrible circumstances that took place on October 1st in Las Vegas. Also with her was my own sister, Jamie. I think Jamie is... they're Jamie. Meghann's sister and our maid of honor, Caitlin. Their friend Elisa. Elisa, I don't know where you are. And one of our special guests here tonight, Heather. Without going into details, these girls experienced something I cannot even fathom. And they were lucky enough to come into contact with our other two special guests. I think I spotted them somewhere over here. There they are. Okay. That's Richard and Cheryl Hampton. Without these two amazing people, I don't think we could all be here today to celebrate this amazing occasion. I really can't express how thankful I am for your bravery and your actions that evening. You're now a part of our extended family. The Hamptons have asked for nothing in return. They declined any gifts. They did accept our invitation to be here, and for that we're incredibly thankful. In many ways, tonight is a reunion of sorts. It's the first time that these 7 people have been in the same room, and I'm really happy that it's under very different circumstances. I want to propose a special toast to Richard and Cheryl Hampton for their actions that night and for their kindness in helping complete strangers. While they may not consider themselves heroes, I certainly do. I owe them everything because they brought me my wife and my family to safety. So, to the Hamptons. But really, honestly, from the heart, it means a lot, everything you guys did. So thank you, and showing up. So now I'm sure that many of you are happy today, not because we got married. Now, I'm sure that many of you are happy today, not because we got married, and it was a beautiful ceremony, and that you get to eat cake, which is somewhere in the room. But I know that at least half of you has said to themselves at least one time tonight, thank God she's no longer our damn problem. Raise your hand if that's the truth. Yeah. Looking at you. Now, I know typically the groom is supposed to thank the bride's family for raising such an amazing woman. I want to warn you, this isn't that kind of speech. I expect to be thanked for taking her off of your hands. You're welcome. You're welcome. And if I recall correctly, Bill and Rob, y'all seemed a little too happy to be giving her away. A little too eager. Way to hide it. I expected to read something like a bill of sale, something that would have said, received one daughter, sold as is, no refunds under any circumstances. We changed the locks, you're stuck with her. But you know, I couldn't be any happier with my non-returnable wife. Meghann, I think we can all agree you look amazing this evening. Absolutely stunning. Your chin has never looked better. You really did a knockout job with putting together such an amazing event. We've had quite a ride together, and it takes a lot of guts for someone to just drop everything they're doing in their life and move to a city neither of us have ever been to. But you know, through it all, and for those of you that don't know, we did not move into a good neighborhood at first. Thanks, Jamie. Where are you at again? Yeah, thanks for that. We didn't move into a good neighborhood, but through it all, we managed to help set up a home in Sacramento. Not just a place to sleep.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. When I come home, it's just the two and a half of us. Calm down. We're not pregnant. It's our dog. It's a dog. It's just the two and a half of us. I'm talking about our dog Milo, of course. We could be doing absolutely nothing, and it's perfect. I love just spending time in your presence. I have all I need with me right here. We have that unique relationship where I'm able to keep my damn mouth shut even when I know I'm right. And I get enjoyment out of going out of my way to make sure you're happy. Sure, you could have said I've ruined you and made you intolerable to your family and friends, but that just means I get to spend more time with you. Our love story is unique, and I didn't know this, but Meghann touched upon it in her vows. I got one, thank you. We started communicating through eHarmony. Little did I know Miss Cheap-Ass Luden over here was on a free communication weekend, and she couldn't see my picture, and she wanted to chat on Facebook, and then texting, and here I am thinking, man, this chick's really into me. No, that wasn't the case. She needed a way to communicate to me that she didn't have to pay for. But she did keep communicating with me, and agreed to have a date with me 7 days later. So she's going to tell this story differently, and she touched on it in her vows, as I said. But this is my time to speak. So I got there super early, and I was anxiously waiting for her to arrive. In comes my future wife, and that's still very weird to say. And I see the best thing ever. And no, I'm not talking about her. She had a bright pink iPhone case. I'm like, thank God she uses an iPhone. Our first date mishaps probably set the stage for our entire relationship. We chose El Torito, a Mexican restaurant, on a late Sunday morning. You know, non-committal, so she could bail out if she didn't like me. But we both wanted some tacos. No. Apparently, you can only get a breakfast food buffet, and if any of you know me at all, I don't like breakfast food. So I didn't eat much. But not eating allowed me to just admire this thing of beauty across the table. At this point, I'm talking about her, not the iPhone. And we got to engage in the most natural conversation between two people who have never met. I was just smitten. Our date moved from the Mexican restaurant that doesn't serve tacos to the pier where we walked around for I don't even know how many hours. The entire place smelled like fish, which I also hate, but I didn't mind because I was with her. We never ran out of things to talk about, and when the date finally came to an end, we walked together to the parking structure. I went to pay for my parking, and this stupid machine kept declining all of my credit cards. And here I am thinking, oh God, this is horrible. This machine is going to ruin any chance of a second date. She's going to think I don't know how to pay my bills. So she puts in her card. It was only $7, but she's been holding that over me for, I don't know, 5.5 years or more. as she mentioned in the vows. But I will forever be in debt to her for that $7, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Now, I could go on and on talking about all of our favorite dates, but the truth is each one just got better and better, and I fell more and more in love with her. The distance between us brought us closer together because we cherished every minute together. When we were apart, we would constantly be texting each other from morning to night, so much so that she would fall asleep with her phone in her hands and drop it on her head. Now, you may all think that's funny, because it is, but she still does it to this day, but thankfully not when she's texting me. But when we were dating, we had many rules. And one of the rules was that I would have to call her every night and leave her a voicemail. While she would fall asleep with the phone in her hand, the conversation would just end, and I would think, oh God, she's mad at me for something. So I would call her every night and apologize for something that I have absolutely no idea what I did, and that was our date. That was our thing, and I had to call her, so I filled up her voicemail. So I want to wrap this speech up, because I've been going on for quite a bit, by completing my vows that I started earlier tonight. You are my everything. You've taught me that it's okay to open up my heart and share my deepest feelings and to be vulnerable. You've taught me what love feels like. You've shown me that I'm a better person because of you. I strive to be better because I am not worthy to have you as my wife. I will always be working on improving myself to be the best version of me. I vow that I'll make sure that your food is always cooked to a safe temperature and not get upset even when you question me if it's safe to eat. I promise find ways to keep that spark alive and find little ways to have fun in life. I'm a very serious person, but it's my responsibility to make sure you are never down. So I'll always be the goofball that you fell in love with, the teacher that answers your questions about the cows on the side of the road of the freeway on our road trips and how they don't cook in the sun and where they sleep at night. I'll be the person that helps you read the hard words in a menu like arugula. It's arugula, if we ask her. And challah. Yeah. And most importantly, the last person to hang up the phone. We will always go to bed saying I love you, no matter what. So Meghann, you are my wife, my best friend, and my whole world. I love you, and I can't wait to spend every night for the rest of our lives, again, until suspicious death do we part.
Thank you. It's an honor. Mazel tov to you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
So let me start out by saying that it's been an interesting last several weeks in which I've had an opportunity to get to know you, Meghann, a little bit more. Obviously, thanks to some folks here, and it's been a wonderful blessing and an opportunity to get to know you a little bit better and to see the love that's in your heart and to welcome you into our family. And one thing that sticks out of my mind that I want to share with everybody that has been interesting is that in the last few weeks, I feel like I hear the words, I love you, from Meghann so much. And it really demonstrates the kind of woman that she is. And if it is any symbol of what this marriage will be and what you're going to bring to this marriage, I know my cousin Jared is going to be a really lucky guy. So I want to thank you. So now I guess I have to roast my cousin a little bit.
Hold on, let me take a drink.
So I could tell you about the time that Jared would come visit in California. On one occasion when I took him to the beach, as most Michiganders like to do, and somehow Jared lost his underwear. And that was all that he had, because we didn't actually go with the intention of going in the ocean, but he went in his underwear, and pretty soon he came out. Jamie was there. She could attest to this. It was nothing. He came out naked. I don't know where his underwear went. But he came out naked. We had to cover him up. I was probably a little bit of an irresponsible cousin at that point, but
Also, about a half a mile walk to the car.
yeah, the car was not close. It was, yeah, there was some shrinkage there. I remember. I could also tell you about the time that when Jared would come visit in California, that we would drive through Malibu Canyon, again, on the way to the beach, and Jared would always point to hills and say, in Michigan, it's very flat. We don't have any hills. Is that a mountain or is that a hill? And he wouldn't be able to distinguish between that, and I have such a fond memory of you being a little cousin of mine and asking silly, innocent questions like that. And here you are today on your marriage day, on your wedding day, getting married, looking wonderful. You've grown up to be a really incredible guy. And I can say that I'm very proud of you. I feel like you and I are contemporaries, but I really am proud of the man that you've become. And you make all of us proud, really. So I want to wish both of you a wonderful, wonderful marriage. Mazel tov, congratulations. Love you guys. Love you.
I'm going to try really hard to make it through this speech without crying, but I probably won't. Okay. First, I want to start by thanking all of our family and friends, near and far, for coming out to celebrate this amazing event. For those of you that were at my wedding, I'm sure you'll remember Jared's speech. It was amazing and incredibly funny. I myself don't even think I could even get close to that amount of humor. So instead, I'll amuse you with a beautiful sob story. In all fairness, I've warned you. Yes, Mom, take out your Kleenex now. I truly believe I am the luckiest girl around. Today I gained a new sister, one who I couldn't have picked out better for myself. In so many ways, luckiest doesn't even begin to describe the real feelings I'm having today. Meghann, my soul sister. We will forever be bonded to one another. I am beyond grateful that I get to stand up today and give this speech, and don't think any of this would have been possible without some amazing guardian angels. Ever since you walked into Jared's life, I have known that you were the one. You emulate so many qualities that I would want my brother to have in a wife, and well, he is so very lucky to have met you. My wish for you as a couple is always to remember to love, to date each other often, find humor in all of life's situations, even when it feels so impossible to find. I'm sure I don't have to convince any of you how amazing and wonderful Jared is, and how lucky Meghann is to be married to this man. But this might be the one and only ever time I get him to shine a little bit brighter than her. So I'll take the time to highlight some of his finer qualities. Don't cut it. You want a job still? You're going to keep it running.
I like where it's going.
Yes.
I'll let you know if we need to cut it.
Growing up with me was rough. I see that now more than ever. Jared, you were the best little brother until you realized I made everything up. Like, Mom never told you to empty the dishwasher, she never asked you to clean the dishes, and she certainly never asked you to put away any clothes. But for a while, you believed all of it, and that made you the best little brother. We fought like most brothers and sisters, drove our mom crazy. I still remember her saying, "Do not call me at work unless one of you is dying and bleeding on the floor." Luckily for her, yes, I know, it's in quotations here. Luckily for her, she never had to get that call. Just plenty more calls from each of us complaining about each other. Jared's strength, motivation, and drive are unlike no other. He has persevered through some of the hardest times and come out as an amazing man. Jared, your dedication to your wife is one that should be noted. The way I see you love Meghann is heartwarming and special. I'm so excited for the adventures to come for the two of you. Enjoy and savor each and every moment. Don't blink too much as time flies by. Marriage is work, and anyone who tells you different is not working their marriage. Here is some wisdom I hope to impart on the two of you. Remember this day, the feeling you had as you saw each other. Jared, remember how you felt about your bride as she walked down the aisle. Meghann, remember how you felt about your husband as you saw him standing at the chuppah. These moments are important. When you fight, always fight fair and never go to bed angry. Life is full of ups and downs. Remember to laugh at all of them, even when one of you has fallen down, stubbed your toe on the bed, recorded all on your camera. They say love is blind, but I don't know if I believe that. Everyone within a 20-mile radius of the two of you can see how ridiculously in love the both of you are with one another. To Jared and Meghann, may you always find comforting strength and endless happiness in one another. Please join me as I raise a glass to these two newlyweds. L'chaim. I love you.
Jared and I have shared some funnies. I got dirt on him. He's got more dirt on me. And he has just been one incredible little boy. He'll always be my little boy. Who's laughing? You know him differently? Jared, as he entered this world, I'm not going to go 100% down there. But you see that head? That had to come out of me. He was not an easy child to birth. And he was an easy child for a week, and then we had a bris, and we'll explain that to you all that don't know about that later. And then he became this croupy little colicky baby and really ran me for my money. Anyhow, Jared and I have had some really funny times. You know, we've had some escapades in Walmart, at Target, at Kohl's, climbing up on, you know, what are those? Shelves. Yes, the shelves.
The ones that say don't.
Don't climb. Do not climb. Those are the ones I climbed with my little accomplice at the bottom hoisting me up. So anyhow, I do have such wonderful memories of him, and I think I couldn't write anything because I just couldn't give up that baby boy that I love so much. And today, as I'm watching him getting married, it's so surreal. Like, what's my boy doing getting married and kissing another girl and all that stuff? And oh, they did it. You know, and talking about those vows that he wrote and, you know, how much those meant to him and all those words that he does mean. And you're one lucky little girl. I'm just telling you now. Yeah. Well, okay, we'll talk about his luck later. But you got him hook, line, and sinker. I mean, you have just got him around your little finger. I have never seen Jared so attentive to anyone as he is to you. That's right. As long as it's not through the nose. So you're a very special young woman. Yeah, and I love your humor. And we do have a little humor jousting going on. So Michelle, you did a great job. Her daddies did too, but I'm giving it to Michelle. Yeah. And now the clan. Now that I get the concept of the clan, I get it. Yeah, you know, I didn't get it, but I get it now. And it is a village. You know, I was a single mother raising Jared and Jamie, and I had my village to help me. You did well. Yeah, I think I did. So anyhow, I want everybody to enjoy the evening. I want us to get this party started because we need to shake some hiney. Okay, I love you. Raise your glasses, a microphone, anything for Jared and Meghann.
Thank you, Mark.
For some of you guys who don't know me, I'm Greg. I'm Jared's best man. I met him in 2005 when we worked for a Jewish catering company doing similar events to this. We wore our marsala-covered tuxedos, stuffed our faces with all the appetizers that were meant for guests, and of course, we danced to the most wonderful songs 2005 had to offer. We got to eat all the food, chicken marsala, double baked potatoes, everything. A few years after that, we kind of fell apart, and then I was having a poker game at my dorm at CSUN. I invited Jared, and we found out that he was at CSUN as well. It was really awesome. We got really, really close then, and we kind of got closer and closer ever since. We rushed the same fraternity, met all of his high school friends, which are pretty much sitting over there. And then we basically became inseparable. After that, Adam transferred out of CSUN, and Jared and I moved into an apartment together. We lived together for 3 years, had some really good times in both of our house and our apartment. And then I got a job offer in Hawaii, so Jared moved into an apartment by himself, a studio. And I used to go over basically 4 or 5 times a week. We'd watch some TV shows, hang out quite often. Fast forward to about a little bit over a year later, I came back from Hawaii. I was still hanging out with Jared, but at this time I had to wait for Meghann to leave. She was there for the entire weekend and would never let me come over until she was done and ready. And I would text Jared, come on, let's go, let's go. Whenever she was done, whenever she was bored, that's when I get to come over. I remember coming over on Sunday nights and Jared telling me about all the fun that they would have, and I knew right away that he found somebody that was very, very special to him. I remember when Jared first met Meghann, we hung out later that week and he told me all about her. He was very, very excited to get to know her and how everything went well in that first date. I heard that story before. He told me that he could see something really real coming from that, and he was very excited to see where it goes. So they took a big step forward when they moved their relationship to Sacramento. It was really sad for all of us because they moved away from us, but we could tell that they were getting closer together. Every time I visited them, even from the very first time I was there, I saw that they were perfect for each other. They were a match made in heaven. And every time I went over there after that, I saw them getting closer and closer, and I could tell that that was real, true love. Meghann, you have made my best friend so incredibly happy. It's been a pleasure to get to know you over the years. You have become one of my closest friends, and I look forward to many more visits, playing Redneck Life, drinking Moscato, and eating a disgusting amount of bread and honey butter at Texas Roadhouse. Jared, I'm so thankful to have gotten to know you so well over these past 13 years. I'm so excited that you found someone so perfect for you. I'm glad this day is finally here. You get to marry the love of your life. You better keep her happy because I'm sure you know the consequences if you don't. I know you guys will be happy together though forever. Congratulations to you guys, to two of my best friends. I truly love you both. Cheers to Meghann and Jared.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Caitlin with a K, not a C. That's the other Caitlin. And I'm Megann's baby sister. I will tell you now, I will probably cry. Just gonna lay that out there. A couple months ago, I started working on my speech, and I had no idea where to begin or what to say, partly because I was warned that I needed to be mostly sober, and that I needed to keep it PG. And anybody that knows me knows that that's a really hard thing to do. The sober or the PG? Both parts. But honestly, I didn't know what to write because I couldn't think about writing this speech without tearing up. I have one right here. It's cool. Okay, so I can't look at you. Growing up, I was constantly Meghann's shadow, and yet we were polar opposites. Meghann has always been refined and the favorite, Well, I am the wild child, and as Meghann likes to joke, the adopted one. Although, with me having Dad's feet, that's impossible to believe, so thank you, Dad. I want to kind of be adopted sometimes. You got some fucked up feet. Just gonna lay it out there. There's so many memories I have growing up with Meghann. Our talent shows in our bedroom, which meant only she could sing. Singing Martina McBride songs on repeat, thinking she sounded just like her. Burning out our three favorite movies, Mrs. Doubtfire, Back to the Future, and Carly Simon's full concert at Martha's Vineyard. And of course, all of the times we scared each other by hiding and jumping out of closets. Believe me, we could bore you with all of the stories and memories that we could tell you about each other. Meghann and I shared a room. We got this shit. We worked at the same job and we drove each other crazy with how different we were. I can't look at her, I'm gonna look at you. We were fighting over what we wanted to watch, what music to listen to, and when to go to bed. I was the sister who would irritate her by staying up late when she had to wake up early. She was a sister who would wake up an hour and a half earlier than necessary, turning on the light, the radio, and the hairdryer to punish me for keeping her up late. So naturally, when we both chose to move out of the house, I was beyond ecstatic to finally be able to sleep in. Except, I moved 2 cities over, and she decided to move 358 miles away from her family. And yes, those are the exact miles. Dropping her off in Sacramento was hard. I wasn't going to bicker with her every day at work or at home. We were finally going to be separated for more than a weekend. And I'll be honest, I got a little bit teary-eyed as we got in the car to drive back home after helping her and Jared move into their first apartment together. That went really well, by the way. Thank you, Jamie. And of course, she left us all with a smile on her face because, as most people in here can tell you, Meghann does not cry. She's kind of weird. But a couple weeks later, we got a text message from her telling us that she cried to Bonnie Wright's Have a Heart while driving to work. And we razzed her about it. She told us it just reminded me of Mom cleaning up and yelling at us because we were yelling at each other and Mom was blasting the radio to drown us out. Because that's the kind of relationship that her and I had. If you don't know about Meghann Jared's love story, Meghann and Jared met on eHarmony on a free trial, nonetheless. They started talking New Year's Eve. I remember this date well because I was with her, like always, as she babysat. Thank you, Hayden, for that. They spent many nights texting, talking on the phone, and would drive across the 405 to visit each other almost every weekend. Meghann was in love, and it was such a humbling experience seeing my sister meet her soulmate. Shit. I remember crying when Meghann told me her and Jared were engaged. Because I knew that someone had finally recognized. Holy shit. Focus on your audience. Someone, oh God, I don't even know where I am. Someone had finally recognized the beauty inside of my sister, both inside and out. She found someone to love unconditionally, and in turn, she had been treated like the princess that we all know that she is. But in reality, my tears were more for selfish reasons. My sister, my role model, was a woman in my eyes now. Not the little girl who taught me how to cuss. Meghann has always been a maternal and nurturing sister. Don't get me wrong, she has her faults too. But Jared loves and accepts her for who she is. When we were younger, I never thought that anyone would live up to my expectations for who I felt deserved my sister. But if you were to ask me now, I couldn't deny that you are that man. So thank you, Jared, for setting an example to all of the young men in this room on how to love and cherish a woman. I'm sorry. I got you to cry. Okay. Oh.
Done?
Oh. No, I'm not. So, sorry. One more little part. So let us all raise our glass and toast the bride and groom to a wonderful life full of love and happiness. That's my glass.
Meghann and Caitlin may have burned out 3 or 4 DVDs, repeatedly. I can't tell you how many copies we bought, but I've got one. I love you. Gotcha. This is for you too now.
May the good Lord be with you down every road you roam. And may sunshine and happiness surround you when you're far from home. And may you grow to be proud, dignified and true. And do unto others as you'd have done to you. Be courageous and be brave.
All right, let's give Michelle another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
You'll always stay forever young.
Let's all raise your glasses.
Forever young.
Please raise your glass. And Meghann, ladies and gentlemen.
I walk through my front door, she's right there like the day before, saying, Daddy, please play with me. Right there in the living room, in her ponytail and ballet shoes, I spin her around. She says out loud, I wish this song would last forever. Dance, baby, dance. I don't ever want to leave this moment. Dance, baby, dance. 'Cause right now I know I'm the only one. Baby, dance. Dance, baby, dance. Baby, dance. And one day she'll pack up to leave. She'll kiss her mom and then kiss me and say goodbye. Dad, are you alright? And I'll just smile and tell her yes, and try to hide this big old mess inside my heart as she starts the car. That's why I wish this song would last forever. Dance, baby, dance. I don't ever want to leave this moment. Dance, baby, dance. 'Cause right now I know I'm the only one that you made right.
For every dream you made come true, for all the love I found in you, I'll be forever thankful, baby. You're the one who held me up, never let speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me, lifted me up when I couldn't.
Making love with each other. Islands in the stream. That's what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we'll rely on each other. One, two, three, four.
It's you and me, moving at the speed of light into eternity. Yeah. Tonight is the night. You join me in the middle of ecstasy. Feel the melody and the rhythm of the music around you, around you. I'ma take you there, I'ma take you there. So don't be scared, I'm right here, baby. We can go anywhere, anywhere. But first, it's your chance. Take my hand, come with me. It's like I waited my whole life for this one night. It's gonna be me, you, and the dance floor. 'Cause we only got one night. Double your pleasure, double your fun, and dance forever, 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 feels like we're on another level. Feels like our love's intertwined. We can be two rebels, breaking the rules, me and you and I. All you gotta do is watch me. Look what I can do with my feet, baby. Feel the beat inside. I'm driving, you can take the front seat. Just need you to trust me. It's like I waited my whole life for this one night. It's gonna be me, you, and the dance floor. 'Cause we only got one night. Double your pleasure, double your fun. Yeah, forever, 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 it's a long way down, it's so high off the ground, sending for an